It was Emily's 8th birthday party, a sunny affair with balloons in shades of pink and blue, swirling around a large tent in her backyard. The air was thick with laughter, and sugar ran like a river from cake stands to the mouths of ecstatic children. Emily was in her glory, surrounded by friends and wrapped in a dress that sparkled like a disco ball. She felt like a princess, and today, her kingdom was bright and joyful. The highlight of the day was to be the performance of Mr. Tickles, a local clown famous for his uncanny ability to make everyone laugh, from toddlers to grandparents. As his unicycle rolled into view, a ripple of exhilaration spread through the crowd. His suit was a patchwork of radiant colors, his face a canvas of joy, and his oversized shoes squeaked with each rotation of the wheel. He carried a pocket full of happiness in the form of magic tricks and rubber balls, and everyone waited in breathless anticipation for the show to begin. But Emily, in the front row and looking more closely, saw what others did not. Mr. Tickles' eyes did not smile. Though his lips were curved upwards in a permanent, painted grin, his eyes told a different story, a story that puzzled her young mind. After an energetic performance involving juggling flaming torches, pulling an endless scarf from his mouth, and even some close-up magic for the wide-eyed children, Mr. Tickles packed his props into an oversized, polka-dotted suitcase. As the crowd dispersed to engage in other party activities, Emily approached him. "You were really funny, Mr. Tickles," she said, looking up at him with earnest eyes. "But are you okay? You look kind of sad." Mr. Tickles looked down at Emily, stunned for a moment. No one had ever asked him how he was feeling. To everyone, he was just a dispenser of laughs, a machine of amusement. "I'm all right, little lady," he said, forcing another smile. "Clowns are always happy." But Emily was not convinced. "Your eyes look like when Mommy tells me everything's okay, but I know she's worried." A pause hung in the air. "You're quite perceptive, aren't you?" Mr. Tickles said finally. "All right, I'll tell you. I lost a friend recently. A tiny little friend who used to follow me everywhere." Emily's face softened. "Was it a puppy?" "No," he said, a distant look coming into his eyes. "It was a little bird. A canary, bright yellow, like a splash of sunlight. It would always perch on my shoulder during my acts and even do a few tricks of its own. It made me feel less alone in this colorful yet lonely world of clowning. But a few days ago, it flew out of its cage and didn't come back. I've been carrying this emptiness ever since." Emily looked up at Mr. Tickles, her eyes filled with a child's pure compassion. Without saying a word, she dashed into the house, leaving Mr. Tickles puzzled but patiently waiting. She returned moments later holding a piece of paper. "Here, I made this for you," she said, thrusting the paper into his gloved hands. Mr. Tickles unfolded the paper and gasped. On it was a drawing of a bright yellow bird, so vividly and beautifully sketched it seemed as if it might come alive and flutter off the page at any moment. "It looks just like him," he said, his voice quivering. "How did you?" "I don't know," Emily said, shrugging her little shoulders. "I just drew what felt right." "Do you like it?" "Like it?" Mr. Tickles wiped a tear from beneath his exaggerated eye makeup. "I love it. You've given me something precious, something that fills a little of the emptiness I've been feeling." Emily beamed up at him. "So, does this mean you're not sad anymore?" Mr. Tickles bent down to Emily's eye level. "I'm still a bit sad, but also happy. Life's funny that way, isn't it? It's a circus of emotions, and we're all tightrope walking between happiness and sadness. But your act of kindness has certainly made the rope a bit steadier to walk on." "Good," Emily said with satisfaction, "because clowns should be happy, especially on birthdays." Mr. Tickles packed Emily's drawing carefully into his suitcase, between his magic wand and rubber nose. As he cycled away on his unicycle, the wheels seemed to turn a bit smoother, the road ahead appearing a little less daunting. And if one looked closely, they would notice that his eyes, those windows to his soul, were no longer empty. They were touched with the beginning of a new joy, fragile as a bird's feather, yet infinitely precious. Emily watched him go, a small but content smile on her face. In her young heart, she knew she had learned something valuable, that sometimes, the best gift you can give is not wrapped in shiny paper or tied with a bow, but crafted with love and kindness, capable of filling emptiness with the colors of hope. And so, on that sunny afternoon, both Emily and Mr. Tickles received the most unexpected but cherished gifts. Emily got a birthday party she would never forget, and Mr. Tickles found a little piece of the happiness that he had given to so many.